you know? Oh, and we could also not stream the wrong screen, which is fucking good, you know? Honestly, why do I even fucking do this sometimes? I hate streaming. Absolutely despise it. Alright, there we go. Now we're getting places. We're in the sewer, and we saw something we probably didn't want to see. Which is something, you know? We've escaped the police station. We have some bullets, a shotgun with an upgrade. Incredible. We'll put this in there. Do a little bit of rejigging. And then we actually have a what looks like a couple of different magnums, which is non-trivial, surely. But that's by the by. We can leave that for now. That doesn't look good. Well, let's see if there's any bits and pieces down this end and be fairly thorough about it. Don't really want to backtrack. Hello? Oh, it's you. That's what we like to see. 5 bullets, though. Come on. I think we can do better than that. Is the crocodile been shooting them or something?
Again?
It's not too late to turn back, Leon.
Yes, it
No
is.
chance. You're stuck with me to the end.
Oh, okay. This doesn't bode well.
Ugh. You sure this is the right way?
Unfortunately.
She's not jumping down here, is she?
Wait there.
Oh. Oh dear. Well, that's not good. I'm not taking that out with bullets.
Get out of there!
Well, yeah. I think that is the idea. Oh. Oh no, we're playing Temple Run. Oh.
Holy shit!
Oh, I see. Oh. Straight up dead. Okay. Good. What have I done wrong there? Come on. Go down the hole. And also, we'll turn the mouse off for a second, because apparently that's too much for it. Alright, okay. Skip. Come on. Do I run Oh, I run regardless. I just need to control left and right. Excellent. That makes it a little bit easier.
Shit!
Oh, oh. Well. What? Sorry, what? What? Not getting it. Okay. So, he telegraphs where he's going to go. Oh, he's going that side.
Holy shit!
And then we want to stay in the middle, I guess. And then dodge over to one side. Stay over this side, I guess. Oh. Alright, that's 3. Which side is he going this time? Oh. Oh, he's not. Flammable gas, you say? Oh. Of course. Why didn't I think of that? Ooh. Oh. Oh.
Chew on
Right.
that.
Very good,
Overgrown
Leon.
son of a bitch.
Ah, you ruined it, Leon. You ruined it.
Leon, up here.
Oh, hey.
What the hell boys.
Well, thank you.
Just get up here.
Hello. Certainly an aquatic friend.
Can't say I didn't warn you.
You said the virus turned people into monsters, not reptiles.
Fair point. I'm just
That's true.
impressed you made it in one piece.
I'm impressed I made it in one piece, considering how many tries it took me to do it. You doing alright? How's the fish game going? Do I?
So let me
Oh
get
no,
this
we
straight.
did it.
Umbrella sells monsters like that to who? Our military? Somebody else's?
They don't sell the monsters. They sell the viruses that make them. And Annette is who makes the viruses. Scary as that alligator was, Annette is far more dangerous.
Got addicted to Project Zomboid. I tried it for a second and kind of bounced off it, but I get a feeling it's one of those games. I really like Dyson Sphere program, but I really struggled to get into it. Like, weirdly, Factorio was kind of a gentle ramp. Dyson Sphere program kind of felt like that. But now that I've got it, I love it. It's great. And I feel like it's going to be the same thing with Project Zomboid, is that all I need to do is suffer through not really getting it until I kind of get it, and then it's just gonna be upwards from there, you know. I've got it installed. I don't think I'm good enough to play it, you know. What was it that, did you kind of experience the same thing where you sort of felt like you kind of reached critical mass and now it's like, oh no, it has me now.
Identify yourself.
Annette Birkin.
Oh,
She's who we're looking for?
Not much time. Need to dispose of it.
We're here for the G virus.
That's not gonna happen.
I'm warning you, Doctor.
Oh yeah?
Hey!
Stop!
well, shoot her then.
You'll never get the G virus!
She seems a bit
expect that from a
unhinged.
scientist?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that from a scientist.
Leon,
Forget about me. Just go. Stop her before she gets away.
I've got herbs and everything, man. Don't worry about it. Unless this is like a plot, like a cutscene injury, in which case it actually counts.
I'm right outside the facility, in pursuit of Annette.
Is that Wesker on the other end?
It's not on her. It must be in the nest.
The nest, you say?
I'll call for extraction.
How much of that did you hear, Leon? Hopefully all of it. I did, so it would be...
You
Oh,
can
oh,
run, Annette,
okay.
but you can't hide.
Are you kidding me? She has a single gun with 9 bullets. That's... And what was... That's not good. I'm not sure what that is, but it's not good. There's something coming out of him. Growing inside him. Spooky. Right, well, we can't go that way. Can we take Leon? No. It looks like there's something here. That leads out. Is there like something flashing on the ground that I'm missing? That goes up. Can't take you. Okay. So I'm in a location with something to get or something to do and no way to do it. Cool. Nope. Alright, well, up the ladder it is. Oh, but you can't go up there. Where? And now you've got... Okay.
It's secret weapon time.
Secret weapon time, you say? What else do we have that we could hack? We hack something over here? Can we hack this zombie? No. Just this thing. So good. Alright. I've got to mess it up somehow. Good to know. I think that's sufficiently messed up.
Candy from a baby.
I mean, usually you don't blow up the baby to get the candy, but okay. Oh, this isn't going to go well for me. I should probably stand back. Yeah, I figured. Come on then. Oof. Does she have like a good gun? I wish Leon had a good gun. Never mind her. Can't all have good guns. Over here? Oh, a note. ID wristband. Okay. Do you have an ID wristband? No? Is it more stuff to it's more stuff to hack. Ooh. Oh, I see. We're changing what we're operating. Smart. This is a very working with Wesker location. In the fourth one, we have the fight with the guy from one of the non-mainline games. I can never remember his name. Krauser, that's it. Oh. Oh, hey, buddy. I'll deal with you presently. Don't worry. And when I say presently, I kind of mean now. Oh, shit! That did not work well. It turns out that it was a fluke that the first zombie just got one-shotted. Okay. Her gun is not good. It is okay at best. Oh, but it did end up decisively killing him, though. So that's something, you know? I feel like she could have taken Leon's first aid spray. Or used it on him. One of the two. Maybe she did. Maybe she's got some secret... oh! Hey, buddy. Oh, you're the cutscene zombie. I've seen you before. In the original game. Oh. Oh, blimey. Alright, maybe she does have a better gun. Does it have something that says, like, this will always give super duper headshots? Oh, it's a limited edition gun, apparently. I don't know if that explains anything, or whether that's important. Oh, hey, buddy. Yeah, it's genuinely doing them in and keeping them done in. I like it. Ooh, and a flashbang. And heart plate. Out of curiosity, I appreciate you might not necessarily be here to chat, more to watch or whatever, but I'm kind of at a bit of a crisis point, the wrong word, it's a little bit dramatic. But I'm kind of trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing while I'm streaming. If a streamer's not talking, is that like a deal breaker for you, or do you not mind? Do you like hearing what the streamer has to say, or are you perfectly fine if I'm not like chatting through every second of gameplay? Wait a minute. I came in here. Ugh. Okay. Did I miss like a button to press? Ooh. Well, don't really feel like I need to deal with you. Oh, of course. Stupid gun thing. I need to use the hack gun. Oh, hey, buddy. Get ready to get hacked. Unknown item in the backing area. Oh, shit. I can't go that way, can I? She's probably in trouble now. I haven't really thought this through, have I? At least reload. Okay. Oh, there she is. Can I shoot you through the glass? Probably not.
Got you now.
Have you though? Yeah.
Always been good at running, Annette. I'll give you that.
You, on the other hand, Ada, in my hands at least, are very good at massive blood loss and little else. Oh, shit. Bit. Oh, there he is. Oh, balls. I'm not going to be able to do this, I don't think. Wait, what? Is it under the floor? Nope, it is round there. What? Oh, it's out here. Can I leave? I was going to say, you won't unlock the door at the very least. Oh, shit. Right, well, we're going to have to try and stop you a little bit. Nope, yeah. Rinsed. Thoroughly rinsed. Sorry, Ada. My bad. Switch to assisted mode. How fucking dare you? Assisted? This is the best I've been doing for a while.
Got you now.
I can't believe it. I mean, I can't.
Always been good
I
at
absolutely
running.
can't believe it.
You do that.
Alright. we're quick, I think we can do this before he even gets here. Oh, yep, there we go. Through the door. I say through the door. I think a more accurate description is a hole in an event grating. Oh great, I can save. I can save how badly at the game I'm doing. But that's good. 7 minutes. And then we're going to switch over to something that isn't game dev. Apologies for people who wanted game dev. But to be honest, I'm finding streaming really fucking miserable right now. Hate it. So I want to try and make it a little bit more enjoyable for myself and for you. So I figure I'm a programmer. I suck at streaming, but I don't entirely suck at programming. So maybe I can use some programming stuff to make it a bit easier on myself, a bit more interactive, generally a little bit better. And also, I'm thinking about using some Humble keys that I've had for a very, very long time to do little giveaways, because then there's a reason to watch, you know, even if it is just from a shitey game from 10 years ago. You get a little prize. And then when I run out of keys, I'll, you know, I don't know what I'll do. Cry myself to sleep or something, but that's fine. Okay, so we've turned on... I have an ID wristband. I just left it on my other wrist. Oh, I probably need to... It's probably something to hack, isn't there? There we go. Oh, he's got an ID wristband. Oh, I see. I think this is going to be a trap, is it? Where's that going? Up there. What? Yeah, this looks like a trap, doesn't it? Or it does to me, anyway. Right, well, I guess we'll go in the room with the obvious zombie. Maybe we'll shoot him now. Just to, you know... Watch as he's just... What, is it you? It's probably both of you. Are you magically going to get... You're magically going to get up now, aren't you? Even though I shot you. You bastard.
Bravo. Gonna burn me alive now.
Oh shit.
Filthy hands on the G.
I'm not the only one after it. You realize that?
And you won't die alone.
Oh, fuck. What? Oh, there we go. So we want to do... So that's open, I guess. And then we're gonna maybe... Oh, I have to hack them all in sequence. Right, I see. So I've messed this up already. But I think I can pull this back. With... No, I can't. Not with 23 seconds. Although maybe. Maybe just.
That bitch knows what she's doing.
I guess she does, yeah. Okay. Got my ID wristband though. And it is basically 7 o'clock. Do you know what? I'm just gonna get started because I'm keen to do something with this. So let's see about that. Do you know what? Also, while we're here, let's put, well, first of all, let's put on the stream music, because I don't have any stream music on right now, do I? Dun dun dun. Same old stream beats as always. But let's go to...
With so many choices on Booking.com, there are so many Tina Feys I could be.
What the fuck?
This video is sponsored by Bamboo Lab. The Nerf nuke is real.
Right.
Black belt candidation. It was actually, you know, when it all pays off, well.
So, I think this is something interesting, which it is probably worthwhile, like, I don't know, talking about, seeing, saying, whatever. How do we change the 5900? Let's change that a little bit. Bitrate is apparently unstable. So we're going to fix that. We're going to dial this down a little bit until it stops complaining. Because apparently 5900 kilobytes is... Let's do 5700. And hopefully it'll stop twisting. 5680. Because then that's a total of... That should calm it down. Well, also, chat isn't working. It doesn't realise that I'm live. So hopefully that should now... The bitrate is not fucking unstable. We're going to have words with you, Twitch. Because the bitrate is not unstable. Is it too high? What? Fuck off. Right, anyway. I think that this is a really interesting thing to watch. Because I'm fucking miserable streaming, to be honest. I hate it. I hate watching people come in, stay for 2 seconds, and then just fucking leave. Because you don't get feedback. You don't get any kind of... Nothing. You get nothing. No room to improve. No, mate, why don't you do this? It's just fucking on their way. And you can't blame them, you know. They're just looking for something to watch. But for the person streaming, it's fucking punishing. But this.
And this sometimes happens in my projects. You know, when it all pays off, and it's pretty surreal. You know, my mom is a 3rd degree black belt, and she worked at a karate studio as a program director for like over a decade. And whenever the black belt candidates would complain to her about how hard it was, she would pull out the supply catalog and offer to order them a belt right then and there. Like, here's the black belt, no need to do the hard part. And every time, they'd immediately get it. Like, the belt's only as good as what it represents, and what it represents is what you become in the process of facing immense difficulty. Don't run from your challenges, even if they're unfair. For better or worse, they're your challenges. And if you faithfully face them down, one day you might even be able to choose which challenges you take on. And after successfully facing some of mine, watching this thing go off time after time is just... it's just awesome.
What do we got here, Chief?
Special darts that Charles has prepared meticulously. You know those Nerf darts?
So that's what I'm talking about. As difficult as it might seem to do something, and I hate streaming. I hate it with a fucking passion right now. Because it makes me so sad to just watch people come and go and say nothing. And, you know, I don't get any better. I have got 50 followers now. But now I'm struggling to do, you know, fucking anything. I'm not even sure there's anybody watching right now. But there we go. So I guess what I'm saying is I want to try and make this as easy as possible for me. So we're not doing any of this game shit today. We've got a couple of different goals in mind. And we're going to try and fix that right now. So what do we want to try and do today? I think things that I want to be able to do. I want to be able to automate window placement. So that's going to be a case of we are going to open what's that going to be? Firefox times 2. Open DuckDuckGo times 1. Open, what do they call it? OBS. Open Spotify. What else do we need? Godot, I guess. Well, actually, we'll talk about that in a second, but minimum, basically, like, so we want a setup script. So setup, by default, is going to open all of those. And then what we're going to do is it's going to remember, hopefully remember state, maybe? That might be nice. Specifically remember current game. And then we're also going to do remember stream title, remember game dev stream title, remember game stream title. And we're also going to do, I guess we don't really need the go live notification, that's fine. Or maybe you know. Maybe something like pick a go live notification from a bank of them. And then what we also want to do is do like game mode. We want to do ideally something like set stream category. That is gonna set current game widget to current game. Set stream title to game stream title. Remember go live notification bank. Set go live notification from bank. And then we're going to do dev mode. And what that's going to do is set stream category to dev stream. Yep. We'll use quotes for. Oh shit! Yeah, that's super fucking loud. There we go. Better. The dev stream title. What else does it need to do? Set stream category to software. What is it? Software and game development, I think. Yeah. And then what else do we want to do? I don't open Godot, probably. I think ideally what we want to do is like play a sound when it's 7 p.m. So that's sort of like the ground floor of what I want to get done. Is basically I want to be able to open up PowerShell or something similar and just put in a command and have it just magically show up, set up all my windows and nicely have them set up. We probably also want to send some commands. I guess what else we want to do. So we're going to automate window placement. So it's going to remember. That's the things it's going to remember. It's going to read those first. And then what it's going to do is automate window placement. It's going to open those. And then what we want to do is default to game mode. Execute game mode. And then what we're going to do is timer to play a sound, I should say. Timer to play a sound when it's 7 p.m. We execute game mode. Then what we want to do is OBS, start streaming, and then the other one. What's the other one? Multiple OBS, multiple output, start all, so that we can start everything. We probably also want to verify monitors set up properly, because they're shit. It keeps deciding not to do it properly. We also want a couple of stretch goals. Things that I want are open browser window with wheel of rando wheel, we'll just call it. Set timer. Maybe like optionally set a timer for a giveaway. Have a bot watch, monitor chat. Something like that would be good. That would be very nice. We can get that working, because then what we can do is have bot post in chat, polls, feedback, other stuff that isn't powered Stream Elements, because Stream Elements is okay, but I can make a Stream Elements. I can do the same shit and I can make it free. Just need to put in the work to make it happen, you know? And yeah, I'll have to run it locally, but I'll be sat at the computer anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Blah, blah. Worst case, I've got a Raspberry Pi that I can run it all on, which, unless I'm mistaken, is it still running? Is it still running a Minecraft server? I think it is. Let's find out, shall we? Come on, little pie. Actually, it's not the pie. This is it just starting with Minecraft. There we go. Is it still there, or has it been completely and utterly rinsed? Oh. Oh. Ooh. Is it there? Oh yeah, so it is. There we go. My shitey little Minecraft world. Which I keep needing to go back to. I set it up ages ago, and I started having, there was like people on and playing stuff and blah blah blah, but we sort of fell off it after a little while. But one of the things that I was working on, which is still shit, like it looks awful, absolutely dreadful, but this was eventually going to be a Wardenclyffe Tower. Or the Wardenclyffe Tower, I should say. A Tesla tower. And it's made of copper. Because, you know, copper. But that's by the by. Alright, back inside. In my secret little hideout. Don't know where the button is. Alright, the music is really nastily overlapping, so sorry about that, but yeah, we'll go back inside. I'll disconnect from my shitey little Minecraft server that is still running. Am I the only one who does this, by the way? Putting like a little like portal room around the nether just to make sure that pigmen can't get out? Is that just me? I think that's probably not just me. Anyway, very Spartan little thing. Right, okay, so we want to do some, I think we'll do this in Python. Could do it in PowerShell, but you know, I know Python better than I do PowerShell, so you know, it is what it is. New file, Python. Oh, it knows. It knows. It knows Python. Excellent. Right, so what libraries are we going to need? Let's open up this. And we're going to say leverage Windows API Python. Win32. Oh wait, no, Win32 API. Oh, that's the name of it, right? Okay. What do we have? Oh God. Hooking Windows APIs with Python. The library. Give me a library that does this. There must surely be a... What the hell was that? Oh, you can piss off. None of you. Alright, you're crap. Okay. Interact with Windows 11 Python. In fact, let's just do resize Windows Python. I get Windows. No. Ideally, I want a Windows Python. Not Epi, is it? What's the thing for is it pip? PyPy. Is that what I'm after? I think this is what I'm after. Windows. Alright, Windows. There's a lot of shit there. Alright, let's look by filter by Windows Update. Perhaps the Portal Locker. Windows API. What was that? What Windows API? What's it called? Win32. All right. How about Win32? Win32, eh? Is there genuinely nothing in Python for this? Surely. Win32 Python. PyWin32. Is this used a lot? How many people like it? How many people have used it? 12 million a month. Alright, so this is a good one. Okay. What does it do? Is it what I'm after? Do we have docs? Docs. A long and sad story. An online version. Okay. I just want to be able to fiddle with Windows, you know? Win32 UI. Feels like a pretty good one. Modules. GUI seems like a good example. Win32 GUI. Create font. Get window. Okay, set window. Place a long value at the specified offset in the extra. No, that's not a vector, is it? Enum windows. Top level windows on the screen. Okay. Might have to look for some ideas here, but I think this is a good start. All right, so we'll install that. I might just can I enable channel points? That's an affiliate or partner thing. That is an affiliate or partner thing. I wish I could do channel points. I wish I could do channel points, because what I think would happen is if I had this is the thing. This is what fucks me off about Twitch. Well, it doesn't fuck me off because it's, you know, I understand why it is the way it is. You've got a bunch of who cares channels who aren't very good. Like, objectively aren't very good. There's some people who, like, probably shouldn't be doing it. I am probably one of those people. Got all these people, and if you gave all of them all of the tools that Twitch has to offer, it would be unwieldy. It would be unwieldy. It would be a complete mess, you know? People would find way more scams or whatever, I don't know. But if you do it where you say, right, you've got to have 50 followers, that's not an unachievable amount of followers. I've done it, so it can't be that hard. And then you've got your 3 viewers. You've got to have at least 3 people who watch you on the reg. Bearing in mind that people might come and go, and it probably means that at times you might be watched by like 6, 10. At sometimes you might spend long spells being watched by nobody. Is what it is. But if you turn on, if you get the affiliate stuff, I'm not saying it's, and I may, you know, eat my words, but I have a feeling that it is probably, if you actually leverage the stuff that you get for affiliate, you'll find it easier to keep affiliate because you turn on channel points, you do polls, you do all the other little extra bits that you get with affiliate. You have a reason for people to stay and watch, because channel points is just, you know, the longer you watch, you get shit, right? That's how it works. So it's like a snowball thing. Every fucking video that I've watched saying, you know, how to grow your Twitch following, all of the shit I've already done. I already do. The only thing that I don't do is I don't make clips. But apparently discoverability on Twitch is fucking dreadful. But people do come in and watch for 2 seconds and then fuck off. Fuck you, by the way. Give me a fucking chance, man. But yeah, I feel like if you've got the channel points or whatever, it fucking gamifies it from the get-go. So I am paddling, I am crafting a pad. I am up shit creek, and to use the words of Malcolm Tucker, I am going to fashion a paddle out of excrement. I am going to write my own fucking bot commands. I am going to make a bot that does the same fucking thing, that tracks points, that when somebody says something, if somebody's been here long enough, it does a check every 5 minutes to check if somebody's in the fucking list of viewing users, and then it gives them 5 points. I'm going to fucking hand roll a point system. Who lets people put comments in their game code for channel points. Seems like a fun thing to do. Yeah, I could do that if I had affiliate. But yeah, gotta have affiliate first. So you know what? Actually, let's do that as well. Hand roll reward system. Longer people watch. Basically, do the point system, but just me. Like I say, we are gonna paddle this, and I think a lot of this is gonna be, I'm gonna start it up, and it's gonna run in the background. It's gonna connect to Twitch. It's gonna start watching. It's going to put itself, the bot is going to put itself in the chat, and it is going to hold on to things. And I'm probably going to put a little JSON file somewhere so it remembers this stuff. It's going to be a little bit of a project, but do you know what it is? If I have to choose between streaming, making a game that I'm really not enjoying making, and making it so that streaming has half a chance of being at least moderately fun for me, I'm going to do this. Even if this is suffering and figuring out how to work, how to tie Windows and Python together. Okay, so we've got this Pywin thing. So I'm thinking I might just do pip install. It's not a good idea because I'm installing it globally, but maybe we'll. No, because we can do virtual environment activation, can't we? So we'll do that, you know. Don't show. We're not doing that. I don't remember how. Fucking shouldn't be still in Resident Evil 2 because I refreshed my fucking stream category several fucking times. I'm gonna punch Twitch. I'm gonna snap somebody's fucking neck. Whoever made this fucking OBS plugin, whoever made the fucking API for changing stream category so fucking flaky. It's fucking infuriating. Get good, Twitch. Cunts. Right. So, how do we reactivate virtual environment in VS Code activate so we want then nope, does not like that. Oh, create environment command. Control Shift and P. Ooh. Is that it? VEnv. Do we have VEnv? Nope. If you're creating environment, interpret a path. Create environment. That's that it? I think that's what I'm after. VEnv. That's what. There. A workspace is required. Alright, because we haven't actually made it. Alright, well we'll make a little place for it. Where does it go? We will put it in Macker. I should probably rename my username so it doesn't so easily give away who I am. But that's by the by, isn't it? Do I have a workspaces? Python. There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot about friend. I was partway through restoring that, but there we go. Maybe we could make friend do this. No, because that's going to be a Discord bot. That's a totally different thing that we're doing. Okay, so what we're going to call this is... What's a good name for a stream companion? Yeah, it caught up because I mashed the button a bunch of times until it eventually actually showed up on the screen. What's a good name for a Discord? Not a Discord, a Twitch bot. What was that? Spawn. Spawn the Eternal Detectives. Twitch Williams, because there's Twitch. What's the other one? There's like another guy. Oh, Sam Burke. That's a boring name. There was like because I remember them because I've never read Spawn. Boys. Oh, there they are. That looks about right. No, not quite. That's not them. What do they call them? Twitch? It's Sam and Twitch. Boys. No. These all seem far. That might be it. No. Pretty sure that's not it. Maybe it was that. Something like that. They look there. That looks more like that's the ones. My brother had those. Anyway, maybe we could call this Burke. Because Sam seems like a pretty boring name, and there's already Microsoft Sam. So I think we'll call this Burke. Alright. Burke. Open workspace. From file. Can I create a workspace? Add folder to workspace? What am I doing? Is that it? It is trying. Burke. Alright. Okay. So now we should be able to do Command Shift and P. Whoa, not that. What the hell did you just do? P. Python create environment. Virtual environment. 3.1.2.2. Creating environment. Logs. Upgrading pip. Well, it's doing something, you know? We good? Have you done it? You've done it, haven't you? Good. That's what we want. So, have we activated the Venv? I don't know if we necessarily have. We have the. Where's the console? Can I have a console window? Why do I not have a console window? View. Command palette. Debug console. Terminal. There we go. So we want to do source. Is this, I can't remember how you do these again. Is it in lib? No. Scripts activate. That might do it. So. So we're in. Oh, VN. So. Dot scripts. That doesn't seem right. Let's remind myself. What was it? Was I looking at here? Where was I looking at it? There it was. So we do that. Creating one, activating one. Python select interpreter. Okay, we'll put that over there. So can I just be select interpreter the end? Is that it? Did I just activate that? No. Yeah, so I can pick it. But it's not showing up. Is that just because I'm not in a script? That could just be because I'm not in a script. Let's add a new file. And just call it Oh, yep, we're in the virtual environment. So then if we do that, oh, it's still not showing up. So we want to do, I guess, down here, we want to do ./.vn. So .then / script activate. There we go. That's what we're after. And then we want to install, what was it called? PyWin32. So we'll do pip install PyWin32. Smart. That's a good start. A good start. All right. So, oh shit, that's not what I meant to do. I've got the right one. All right. So then we want to import Win32, PyWin32. Oh, we've got a few things. All right. So now we're going to go to the docs. All right. So I think probably a good start was that Win32 GUI. Win32 GUI. Does it like it? It's not accessed. Pilots doesn't like it. Oh no. Well, death. So what do we want to do? What are we doing? So we want to open stuff up. I think we can probably open stuff up separately. So we want to what else do we have for? I feel like we probably want to open browser. Python script to open a web browser. Web browser? Ooh, is that just built? That's not fucking built in, is it? Web browser. Maybe I don't need this. Web. All right, let's try this then. Okay. So we're gonna do def open browser, and we'll just do. What will we do? Don't really need any parameters. We just do. What do we do? Web browser.open, and then we give it a URL. So we'll just do web browser.open. All right. Was it F5 to run? No. I should know this shit. I should really start using VS Code more. Start debugging, run without debugging. I feel like there should be a. All right, okay. Wait, what? Start without debugging. Not start debugging, just run the script. Surely there's a button to run this. Oh, here we go. Run Python file. Well, it has not done anything. Oh, because I defined it as a method. Idiot. Then we actually need to call open browser. Okay, let's try that again. Well, shit, son. There it is. I mean, it opened it in a tab, but there it is. We actually have it. So that's a good start. Can I control whether or not it opens in a tab? Specify the browser. We don't care. We've only got Firefox. Actually, we do care because we can open. We've got DuckDuckGo. But Register? What? What? Registers the browsers and then opens that URL in it. Oh, I see. You can put it in a list of things. Okay. Okay. So we've got all of the useful stuff out of this article. Like, oh, no, we haven't. Open new. Opened in a new browser. Otherwise, it's opened in the default one. Fantastic. Oh, so we can do open new. Does that give a parameter? Let's have a look at this web browser. Python web browser. Open new. What does it return? Oh, it doesn't let us track it. Okay. So let's try. So we're going to do open new web browser. This might be a little bit state dependent and I don't like it, but that's fine. So we'll do open and then we'll do https://www.bbc.co.uk and then we'll do web browser open new and we'll do http://twitch.tv. Is it just twitch.tv? I think it's just twitch.tv. What's that competitor one? I should probably open that one as well because I'm not feeling very Twitch friendly at the minute. Open and then we're going to do HTTPS. What's another good website? xkcd.com. There we go. Right, so if I do that now, what we should find is we get a brand new... Oh, not quite. It has opened all of them in one tab. So it's not doing exactly that. Open a new window of the default browser. We want it to... Is there no way to get it to force it to do that? All right. Open new equals 1 and auto raise. The window is raised. Note that under many window managers this will occur regardless of the setting of this variable. Okay. So we want to do, let's try open. What's the difference between opened URL in a new window of the default browser? In the same browser window, a new browser window is opened if possible. What defines whether that's possible? That's interesting. Oh, we've got a list of common browsers as well, which is nice. I know that DuckDuckGo is not listed, but that's okay. Firefox. I do get Firefox. Return a controller object. Okay, so if we do Firefox equals web browser dot get Firefox, and then we do Firefox dot open new, change that. Let's try that. Could not locate runnable browser. Okay. I mean, that is that is what I did, is it not? So then we've got a controller. So what is a controller? Controller.open, same deal. Okay. So it couldn't find Firefox. Is it because I've got it wrapped in double quotes? It shouldn't be. Could not locate runnable browser. Line 60. What do you mean fucking line 66? Oh, there we go. Get Firefox. So can't get Firefox. Gonna get Mozilla? Are the docs out of date? Can I list browsers? We can register, but we can't. What if Windows default, you say? Windows default. Alright, it's still doing the same thing. It's putting them all in the same fucking window, which is kind of disgusting. Let's have a look. Web browser, Firefox, Python rather, won't open new window. New equals 1. So open new. All right, okay. Well, let's try open, and then we'll do try 1, and then we'll do that. We'll do the same thing. Open 1. Nope, same shit. Doesn't fucking work. OS system. Aha. Suppose there is also the possibility that I could use fucking Selenium or some shit. Which I don't really want to do that. I kind of do want to interact with the browser a little bit, but not really. What else do we have in here? Another of browser types are predefined. Yeah, we got browser types being predefined. That's fine. Register. Register the browser type name. Once a browser type is registered, the get function can return a controller type for that browser type. Instance is not provided or is none. Constructor will be called. Instance is provided. Constructor. Oh, constructor, I see. Okay. So what is the constructor? Can you give me an example of constructor being used? I don't think you can. I don't think you do at the very least. Maybe we'll use this. Web browser OS. Ooh, okay. That could work. Let's do that. I might struggle. I think I'm going to struggle to maybe we should be looking at this with Selenium instead, because it would be nice to track browser windows, keep references to browser windows, you know? Okay, so maybe let's try Selenium. What is Selenium on Firefox? On Python rather. Python Selenium. There must be Selenium Python. All right. Installation. Oh, this is just document. All right. So okay. Install Python. Pip install Selenium. Cool. That was hard. Pip install Selenium. Oh. It does not look like that's active anymore. When did it deactivate it? That's weird. But okay. Alright, pip install Selenium. Incroyable. You'll be triggered, Phil. I mean, Hydronis. Let's have a look at this. What do we have? So it seems we could also potentially do. Let's see if we can get this working, and then we'll worry about placing the windows once we've got them open. We're going to do pip install Selenium. Gecko driver. I see. user/bin. All right. Okay. No, not that one. This one. Gecko driver. The hell's a Arch 32? Win32, surely. I would have thought. We'll open that. We'll copy this. And we'll put it elsewhere. Oh, actually, yeah, we'll just we'll put it in here, I guess. So what's the deal? Okay. So let's do gecko driver equals strip path equals c / equals, I'll do like a alright, when we do print this? It's going to be like a relative path, I guess. It's going to be what? Upper level. So wherever you're running, it's just going to be what? Here. /bin. bin/gecko driver.exe, right? So then we're going to want to do, what is it here? So we're doing a driver equals webdriver.firefox. Am I doing that right? No, because I need to import. I'm not importing the whole of Selenium. Well, actually, we probably are, so we'll do import Selenium. And then we want to do selenium.webdriver.firefox. And we are going to give it, feed it, executable path equals gecko driver path. Nice. And then what we're going to do is print driver. Which I'm guessing is going to be null because that doesn't look like that's going to work. Has no attribute WebDriver. Is that right? I mean, pretty sure it has one called WebDriver. Plus it's right fucking there. That's why I think that. Oh, do I have to do it like from Selenium import web? That looks less twisty. Executable path equals gecko driver path. Unexpected keyword argument. Am I using that correctly? Probably not. All right. Where's the docs? Okay. Oh. Piss off, does it just work? Alright. Does that do, is that non-null? It has opened something. It's in bot mode. Oh. We don't really want it in bot mode. We want it in regular mode. Not the worst thing in the world though, I suppose. It's opening anonymous browser windows. Nice, I suppose. Potentially do that. Could get away with that. Okay. Let's stick with that, I guess. So then we could potentially do driver dot get and then what was it? www.google.com, and then let's do driver.get hps bbc.co.uk. Let's do those two things. So this should hopefully open a window, go to Google, and then go to the BBC. And then stop. Which is not incorrect. That is sort of what we're... Hello, how's it going? I am trying to make streaming just a little bit less miserable for me, which I don't think is going to work, but we can certainly try. Where are the Selenium docs? Where have they gone? Opening a new tab. Selenium, open a new tab. Python. Get parameters. Yep. Beep 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 boop boop. This no longer works for Selenium. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay. Oh god. Execute script. Bleh. That's awful. But okay. So we can do driver.get and we could potentially set that to be https://google.com, and then we can do driver dot, what was that? Execute script. This is dreadful. Window.open t.co.uk. Target blank. That's a bit rough. You've got to use fucking built-in JavaScript just to open a browser. But that's fine. Maybe it's not the worst thing. Alright, that's progress. That is definitely closer to what I want. So effectively what we could try and do is do window 1 and then window 2. Well, let's do it afterwards. We may as well sort out one and then sort out the other. So window 2 equals webdriver.firefox. And then we do driver.get and we send it to, and we do driver window 1 mute. Execute script. Maybe something very similar. This is rough. But I suppose this is what I get for farting on with Python. I don't know. Okay. Why not? Okay, so now what we should have is it opening 2 windows. 1, 2. There they both are. That's surprisingly straightforward. And the stripe is kind of growing on me. Okay. Okay. Can I, if I do that again? Because I like that it knows that it's a bot and it displays that it's a bot. If I then go to location, okay, so I can, while it is striped, I can still change it if I need to, if I want to. Okay. So that's a good start. So we've got open Firefox. So we need to remember state. So there's bits we want to remember. So how does Python do enums? I don't think Python does enums really, does it? Python enums. tell me you don't have to fucking import. Alright, okay, you do. But that's fine. At least it's not, it's relatively trivial to do. So we'll do that. So from enum import enum. We might not even need this. I suspect we probably will. Apparently we don't need that. Whatever the fuck that was. Class stream mode. We'll do an enum. And it's gonna have game equals 1. Dev equals 2. There we go. Okay. Well, we'll leave that open because I think we'll probably still need that. But there, we can remember, so we're going to have... no, actually, we're going to need it now. So we're going to have to do stream mode equals stream mode dot. And there we go. That'll do. Yeah. Stream mode equals stream mode dot game to start with. We want to do current game equals probably some UUID or other identifier. It wants to remember dev stream title equals look this up from actually look these up from end properties. So dev stream title, good old making a series of small series of interconnected and then we're going to do game stream title. Something like that. And then we want a bank of go live notifications. So I guess in that sense, we probably want something. How do we do arrays in Python again? This is how often I read and or write Python. But, oh, yeah, there we go. Good. So we can just do what were we after? Go live notification. A new array, and we'll have maybe let's just, you know what? I'm gonna go through my little book of Bob Rossisms, because frankly, he's pretty great, and he says some nice things. There's not a trademark next to it, so I think I'm all right here. Some of these are quite funny when you rework them to be about Dev. In a bad way. Am I going the right way? Nope. Wrong way. Closer to the back now. Oh, we've already had that one. That one's my favourite, I think. That one's unmodified. That one might have to be cut, not just in terms of length, but also in terms of accuracy. And finally, there's our Bob Rossisms that we can pull on, have a randomized go live statement. Okay, so we remember all of them. We could probably put these in a property as well, but we'll see. These might just sit in here. It's not like I can't change it otherwise. Right, so we remember, what do we have? So we can now remember all of these. We're going to automate window placement. We're going to default to game mode. So game mode. So the first thing I do is going to open Firefox times 2, DuckDuckGo times 1, Selenium DuckDuckGo. Let's have a look for that. Do you know, I can open a DuckDuckGo if I need a DuckDuckGo. So maybe we'll write that off. It doesn't need to do anything. It doesn't need to go anywhere in particular. All right, so can we open OBS programmatically? I feel like we probably can. So we're going to do open OBS. Well, open program. Piss off. I know where it lives. Alright. Ooh. 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 What does that do? What does that do? That sounds fun. We might have to use that. Anything to be lazy. Anything to be lazy. Alright, piss off. Get out of the fucking corner. Stupid prick. I'm trying to... This fucking snapping shit. I am close to snapping. I am not having a good day. Ho ho ho. Ho 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 ho. Oh, it's fine. Alright. Pip install Windows. Oh, wait a minute. That's like one. Wait a minute. I just installed a thing for this. PyWin32. So what other modules do we have? Apps. Win32 API. Because it would be super nice if we could just get... that. Maybe we can just find it. We know where it lives. It's not going to change. Program files. OBS. What? Bin, I guess. 64-bit. Yeah, there it is. So we'll just dump that in there. What is it? It's probably good practice to go OBS path case. Also probably helps to wrap that in quotes. Slash, what was it? OBS 64. And what was that? There was a better one, wasn't there? Sub-process. What was it? Sub-process import. Let's just import. I feel like call's not a good way to do that. That doesn't seem right. So we'll maybe do import sub-process. Let's fart around in there and see what there is available. So we can do that, that's fine. And then we want to do, I'll probably have to be careful here because it might try and open a second instance of OBS. What's it called? Sub-process dot run call pulpin. What's pulpin? Execute a child program in a new process. What does it return? Does it get a reference to it? Maybe it does. Well, find out. That seems like it makes sense. Oh, hello. What's my experience working with CEOs and managers? Do you know? That's a very that's a very loaded question. There's a lot to say there. To try and be, I'll start with CEOs because I've worked with fewer CEOs than I have managers. The very first CEO that I worked with, like, you could barely understand the words that he was saying. I think it's like a Simon Amstel joke where it's like rich people, they all talk like this, and it's because their mouths are full of pound coins. And he kind of had that vibe about him. Like, he kind of really felt like, not old money, but like very privileged. And he sort of sat up out of harm's way. He didn't really fucking do anything. He wasn't very visible. I guess the company kept going, so, you know, he can't have been fucking it up that badly. Then he did off. And he was replaced with somebody who kind of didn't want the job. They interviewed a bunch of people. None of them got it, and they offered it to instead the one person who hadn't applied, which might be, I don't know if that's a good tactic for becoming a CEO, is to be close enough to the application process that they consider you, but without you ever actually putting your hat in the ring. That CEO was all right, but there was a lot of shady backdoor deals. And I think one of the things that I kind of learned quite early on is that it as much as it would be really nice if everything was fair. To quote the Princess Bride, who says life is fair, where is that written? There is no reason that just because something should be a particular way, or it's the right thing to do something a particular way, it's not going to get done like that. It'll get done through shady backroom deals. So current CDO, current head of IT was a project manager in charge of refurbishing a part of a building, and happened to be really good friends with the CEO before he became CEO. He then, not quite on the golf course, but not far off, basically had a chat, and what was supposed to be, right, we'll refurbish this bit of the building into a new IT space, and then that's you back to being just a regular project manager. The CEO basically created a brand new job for him, and kind of basically put the keys to IT in his hands, and said project manager has then gone from strength to strength. Like I say, he's now the head of several IT departments rather than just one, and it's all been smushed together into this one dysfunctional chunk. So I would say that CEO, he was all right. He kind of got on with it, but generally speaking, I think, weirdly, I don't like the man, but he does make a very good point. Jeff Bezos says that the CEO's job isn't really to do anything. Like, the CEO doesn't do a lot of work. The CEO's job is to do a very small amount of very, very high quality work. That rather than you flipping open your laptop and working from dawn till dusk, your job is to make calls, especially in the private sector. You're making calls that decide the entire trajectory of your business. So CEOs, by their nature, don't appear to be doing a lot. They just make a few calls like a few times a year, and it either pays off or it doesn't. And generally speaking, they're pulling on the experience of those around them. So I think the best kind of CEO that I've worked with is the kind that we have now. He's still not perfect, but he listens to the people around him. He recognizes that everybody who is under him they're actually the people who are giving him the information to make high quality decisions. And I think the kinds of CEOs that tend to do quite badly, or that you tend to want to stay away from, are the ones who genuinely believe their own hype. Because I can't remember where I saw it, but there was a really good video I saw about what was it about again? American football players. And it was basically saying CEOs and American football players, in terms of luck, are very, very similar. In that there's a lot of very superstitious, and probably in the UK as well, there's a lot of superstitious American football players, because they'll wear like their lucky shorts, or they'll do like a little dance, or like they'll do a little warm up or a little mantra or something, some weird little lucky charm that they've got to have on them in order to make the kick, or to be able to make it to the fucking end zone, whatever it's called. And it's because they can do something incredible. They can kick a ball really far and really accurately, but they don't know really how they can do it. They just had a talent when they were in school, and when they're in the right mind frame, they can do it. And in the same way, CEOs of successful businesses, they don't really know how they got successful. They know what they did. They know what they've done by definition of the fact that they did it. But if somebody else, given the same initial starting conditions, with all the same opportunities, did the same thing, there's no guarantee that it would work. And so they'll say stuff like, "Oh well, I get up and I never sleep more than 4 hours a night, and I always have my coffee, I always do my meditation, I read tea leaves," whatever it happens to be. They'll have like their secret to success. But then pretty much every CEO with any kind of longevity or with any breadth of experience, they'll have failed probably as many times as they've succeeded, or they'll have made bad calls. And then when you say, well, all of this stuff, this magic stuff that you're doing to make good calls, you do the same stuff when you make the bad calls, so it sounds like you're full of shit, and actually it doesn't really work. So in terms of CEOs, my experience of working with them is fortunately not a lot, because I feel like a CEO that gets too involved in the day-to-day business of the business is probably a bad CEO. They need to be visible, but it's almost a challenge for the CEO, because inherently they have to be quite detached. They have to be so high level that they basically don't work at the company. Their job, kind of like a good ship's captain, like as much as Jack Sparrow's really fun, the best kind of captain is the kind that spends most of their day below deck in their cabin charting a course to make sure that where they go is smooth sailing. If you have a captain where they're constantly on deck and they're constantly barking orders because they've landed themselves in the shit, that to me suggests that they're a bad captain. They have steered the ship in a bad direction. They've ended up with the crew getting fucking attacked by a kraken or some shit, and so that's probably what I would say about CEOs. In terms of managers, and I don't know how long you got. Managers are a very mixed bag. I think they belong in the same category as CEOs to some extent, in the sense that they are inherently quite detached from the work. Some of them might have had experience of doing the work, whether that's development, whether that's, managing a sandwich shop, whatever it happens to be. You've either got a manager who appreciates that it's the people underneath them that give their jobs value, that give their jobs meaning, that if the people underneath them weren't there, they wouldn't have a job. They wouldn't have anybody to manage. And I think some managers forget that. I had a manager for a while, for example, who I ended up, I didn't realise this at the time, but apparently I ended up doing most of his job for him. And I only really discovered that I was doing most of his job for him after he left. And I realised that there was a lot of stuff that he should have been doing that I was doing, and all of the other managers who were trying to get all this handover out of him were like, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And I was like, oh, well, I do all that. And they were like, oh, that's not how it's supposed to be. So managers, you either get a good one where they recognise the contributions of people underneath them, or you get a bad one where either they're just on a power trip, or they don't recognise, they consider themselves to be some, arbiter of what's right and wrong, of deciding the direction. There's a really good book by Bill George called Authentic Leadership. I really hope you're still listening. Oh good, thank God. I was really worried that you'd left. But there's a really good book by Bill George called Authentic Leadership, which is basically, oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. But yeah, there's a really interesting book, Bill George, Authentic Leadership, and it talks about basically finding the best way to make your personality fit a leadership style, because there's lots of different kinds of leadership style, and a lot of them, I don't even know if I've still got my notes from when I did my degree, but what tends to happen is you've got authoritative leaders who'll come in and be like, this is how we're going to do it, and they tend not to do very well. The best ones tend to be what they call servant leaders, is where their role in the team is less a manager and more facilitator, and so they're like really working to make your job easier rather than the other way around. Like, they know that you're the people doing the work, doing the high value stuff. And then it's their job just to give you what you need to do it. Those people do exist, and if you find them, if you get a good manager like that, I'm not saying hang on to them and beg to stay with them or whatever, but like, it's a good time working underneath them. I suppose the unfortunate thing is you don't always necessarily know what kind of manager you've got until you're under them. If you're talking about in terms of like job interviews, like knowing whether or not you're going to go into a company where your manager's going to be a dick, if the person who you're going to be working under isn't on the panel, you're kind of stuck. You don't really know there, but you can still ask some questions of the company that give you a vibe. And it's when you get to the end, and there'll be the bit where they say, so do you have any questions for us? If you ask them questions, what you ask them, what's important to you is going to depend on your priorities. But one of the things that's really interesting that I think a lot of interviewers forget, and it puts them on the back foot a lot of the time, and you can even say that up front, like, look, I appreciate this is a bit of a curveball question, but ask them why you should work for them. Because in a lot of interviews, the idea is you're interviewing the position, but you're also deciding whether you want to work there, So if your manager is in that interview and you say something like, so what's great about your team? What do you love about your team? What do your team love about you? How would you describe your management style or something like that? And if they kind of like, then you kind of have a vibe at that point, like, this guy or this gal, this person beyond the binary, that I don't know if I'd necessarily stick with them. And sometimes you don't have a choice. Sometimes just a job's a job. A lot of times the CEO doesn't even know how to... Exactly, yeah. A lot of times the CEO does not know how to program code. And I think, when you get to the level of a CEO, you almost... It's not that you don't want them to know how to code, but like there's a I don't know how scientifically proven it is, but there's a principle you might have heard of called the Peter Principle. It's not named after the guy who was really bad, I don't think. But effectively, the short version of it is you are promoted to your level of incompetence. So if you work on the front desk, for example, and you do really well at being on the front desk, then maybe they put you on the phones. And then if you're really good at being on the phones, then you're like, okay, well, maybe we'll put you in charge of like managing a small team of people on the phones and doling calls out. And then you do really well at that. And so then they move you up another level and they say, okay, well, you can manage the people who manage the people who manage the calls. And you keep going up, and the job starts to change, and it gets further and further away from what you were good at to start with. And you end up in a position where you're doing a job that wasn't the job you were hired for. It's not the job you were trained for. It's stuff that you're just starting at that point figure out and kind of just sort of get a rough idea of, I guess this is how it works. And it's where imposter syndrome starts to come in, I think, if it hasn't already hit you. I wouldn't necessarily say superhuman. It's just a very different kind of role, because at your very low level, like, you get promoted to your level of incompetence, or you usually do. So it might be that if you got somebody who started and was a coder and found their way up to being a manager and was just about managing, and then got to the level of like professional lead, or like a C-level exec, but not a C-level officer, but not the chief exec, you might be able to get there by kind of knowing what you're doing. The best kind of CEO, I would argue, is the kind who has proven over several different companies, rather than just the one they worked their way up through. They've proven that they actually know what they're doing, and that from first positions they can come into a company that they not necessarily don't know anything about, but they can get to the crux of it. It's kind of like in software, you tend to find a lot of people who get very narrow in their focus, and and we need people who are really narrow in their focus. If we didn't have people who just wanted to like drive every last drop of performance out of whatever hardware we have available, then we wouldn't have crazy new graphics processors. We wouldn't have new factoring methods to be able to fit the same, like, more transistors on a chip. We wouldn't have DLSS and stuff like that. If we didn't have people they really enjoy just doing that one thing, there's a lot of really cool innovations we wouldn't get. But then I think there's a different kind of skill, and it's maybe like probably more holistic or a systemic way of looking at things, which is where you need to see how it all fits together. You need to take like the surface level. It's not even surface level. You need to take like threads from everywhere and pull on it, and you can't hold all of that information in your head. You can't be super deep and super knowledgeable about every single topic. You have to be like, and you need to know enough about a hell of a lot of different things. And if you can do that and like combine all of that together, if you measured the CEO on their ability to write code against somebody who has been obsessing about writing that particular kind of code for years, the CEO will lose. But if you put the super obsessive dev in the CEO's position, they'd be like, well, I think I am one of them. There's a lot of developers who will sit there and say, this isn't the right direction for the company. We should totally change how we're doing things. But on some level, there'll be bits that I don't understand. And I think another really interesting principle, the Dunning-Kruger effect, is an interesting one, which is Mount Stupid, they call it, which is basically that if you don't know enough about CEOs are able to connect and look for points that you don't even know exactly. And I think that's the thing. But I would qualify your statement ever so slightly. Good CEOs are able to look for points that you wouldn't even know to look for. Bad CEOs definitely exist. But if you're a really good CEO, you can join all that stuff up. But I think it depends. There's a lot of there's some CEOs out there who you think, what are you even doing? But you can't deny that people like, I think Elon Musk is an interesting one. I would say probably more like Bill Gates and maybe to some extent Jeff Bezos. I think it's really interesting how they've got where they've got. Steve Jobs as well. I don't like Steve Jobs, but you can't deny the fact that I'm not a big fan of Apple products, to be honest, but even though I've got a few of them, but you can't deny that Apple were doing really well in the 80s, going into the 90s, and then they sort of fell apart. And then Steve Jobs came back and kind of put them back on the map. Like, Apple were almost not quite out of business, but they were like struggling before Steve Jobs came back. And while he didn't have the technical knowledge, and while he didn't know really how to do a lot of the deeply binary, you get it right or you get it wrong stuff, he was very good at finding the crucial bits, like you say, finding the points that you wouldn't know to look for and joining them together. A really good example is one of the most interesting things I think he ever said. He said on the back foot. Because this guy basically stood up and delivered a fairly slam dunk question, which in modern times doesn't really mean anything, but basically said, you don't know what you're doing, Steve, and here's the receipts to prove it. And he said, and then he sat down and started giving a response, and he was like, you could please some of the people some of the time, all of it. And then he stopped and he thought about it, and he was like, look, the problem is this guy's right. This guy is correct. I don't know a lot of the I don't know a lot of what's going on, but like, he then goes on to talk about, rather than focusing on the tech, he says, focus on what the customer wants and work backwards from there until you figure out what the tech is that you need to use to accomplish that, rather than starting with the tech and then working out how to sell it. And I think that that's probably one of the, and you know, you look at stuff like the iPod, it's kind of, and that like he didn't have that scripted. He just sort of, he had that, he pulled it out of his arse effectively. And I think that sort of stuff, as much as I didn't like the man, I mean, he's dead now, but you kind of can't fake that sort of stuff. So as much as I don't like people like him, and I don't think he was a nice man, he was talented at his job. He knew what he was doing. He was a good CEO. But then you've got people like Elon Musk, who, I think if Elon Musk said a lot less, I think people would have bought the illusion for a lot longer. There's a lot of people have said, what is it? It's something like, you know, he talked a lot about cars, and it sounded intelligent, and so I figured he knew quite a lot about cars. And then he talked about rockets, and I didn't really know much about rockets, and it sounded intelligent, so I assumed he knew quite a lot about rockets. And then he started talking about software, and I know quite a bit about software, and now I know to stay away from his rockets and his cars. And I think it's not necessarily that SpaceX and Tesla are bad companies. They're obviously fantastic companies, but I think that Musk seems to forget that there's all those people underneath him doing the actual work. His job is to set the direction. He's supposed to be steering the ship, and yet he seems to be acting as if it's all him. Like he's the one making all of these big brain decisions, and then going out on a stage and fucking Zeke Heiling in front of people as if it's nothing. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, you are the richest man in the world. I think Jimmy Carr said it's like, you know, people are saying, you know, he's like, people are saying it's not that he's a Nazi, he's autistic, and it's like, you can be both. You can be both. But yeah, but the power, absolutely, power can get your head. The same thing a mate of mine used to say about what's that rapper? This is gonna sound so out of touch. Fucking Kanye. Like, it's weird to talk about Kanye as a rapper. He's more just like a force of nature at this point. But once upon a time, people thought of Yeezy as being like, he was like this, oh, he's the best rapper there's ever been. And apparently once upon a time he was quite humble, but I imagine there's only so many times that you can be told, oh, you're the best, you're like, you know, you're changing like the world, you're changing the industry, like, you know, there's been nobody like you. There's only so many times you can say, oh, come on, don't be silly, that's not me. Before eventually it starts to shape you and you start to think, oh, maybe I'm not that bad. And then flash forward like a year and it's like, yeah, I am actually the best. I am the best at this. And then long after all of the people saying you're the best at this have gone, you're still left with that brain rot of like, yeah, I am the best. Just because all those journalists said it a couple of years ago. Why does nobody think I'm the best anymore? Then, yeah, I think that's probably how that happens. I think it could happen to anyone. Any of us, if we got to that point. Well, that's what I think of CEOs and managers. So let's try and open OBS. OBS, does this work? So we should now get, we should get 2 Firefox browsers and hopefully a fresh copy of OBS. Oh, oh, it's, oh, the system cannot find the file specified. Oh, what was that? You followed. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Oh, and you get to see there's a big cloud of Milos and Jeffs. Oh no, absolutely. I very much. You see, this it's kind of, I'm kind of here for conversations like that. I'd really love it. This is why this is kind of why I'm doing this stuff, is I'm trying to automate some stuff for streaming, because I want it to be more interactive. I'd love it, because I feel like the way you get to 3 average viewers, an affiliate, and the way you get to a point where you're just sort of ticking along as a streamer is interaction in chat, but then interaction with chat, and it's all it's got to be this little machine, like a little organism, a little community where everybody's just chatting and one of them happens to be on telly in front of you. And I feel like that's how it's supposed to work. But getting to that point where you've got the self-sustaining reaction, it seems like there's no formula to get there. So I am trying to add a bunch of stuff to hopefully get there, so that eventually maybe I can just be making games in the background, and then people can be chatting and stuff, and then eventually I will finish a game, or finish another game I should say, and then I can be like, hey, here's a game, maybe you might like to go play it. Oh, by the way, it's on, I don't know, Steam or something for £1. Is it because I didn't put enough slashes in? Oh shit, I left all the... Alright, we'll get rid of these. Oh, it's doing it! It's doing it! Come on. Failed to find locale nus.ini. Failed to load locale. But it's trying to open it. So that's something. That could just be because I've got it open. But I think that's pretty good. Once you're in the CEO position, it's kind of a cheat code of life, because you network with it. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people, there's conspiracy theories about the idea of the Illuminati and the small cabal of people ruling the world. And I'm not sure if that's necessarily true, but I think it is a small number of, because the idea with the Illuminati is that they know everything and they understand everything, and they're very carefully coordinating things from the top and just puppeteering the whole planet. I don't think it's quite that, but I do think that there's a small number of very powerful people who make decisions that better their own lot in life. And they're not really, they may be thinking long term, but only in the sense of, what do I need to do to make sure that I stay on top? It's less let's make sure that we put 5G chips in everybody, and we'll have spy pigeons that are actually robots and all that sort of crap. I think it is literally just, how do I make the most money? But maybe that's just me. Maybe it is, there is something more to it. All right, so I think that is actually opening it now. Now, what does Popen return? If we do popen. Box. What does a friend mean to me? What does it mean to be a friend? What does a friend mean to you? What does a friend mean to you? Well, I do have I have Friend. I haven't finished it yet, but I have in my little workspace, I've been working on a Discord bot, which the Discord's a ghost town. There's nothing in there yet, but I have Friend, which is going to be a Discord bot, which could be fun. But in terms of what a friend means to me, I would say that's a weird one, because there's a very broad spectrum, isn't there? Because you could say that a friend is somebody who you enjoy hanging out with, and like you're always, you know, like you feel like they've got your back and they trust you and all this sort of stuff and blah blah blah. And there was a really interesting definition I saw, which was look after your dog, go for a beer, something like that. That might turn it up. It does not turn up. What does my close social circle look like? My close social circle is very, very small. Without going too much into my backstory, I used to have a lot more friends. And then because of a toxic relationship, I ended up having to cut. I was made to cut a lot of people out. And I tried to reintegrate with those people once I got out of that relationship. And I kind of felt like we totally moved apart. And while I tried to reintegrate, it didn't work. But we were different people by that point. So I suppose maybe that's part of the definition of a friend, is somebody who's like close enough to you, not even necessarily in terms of distance, but you keep in touch often enough that you sort of move in generally similar directions. Is that a friend? It's somebody who's moving in a similar direction to you in life and who you know is there, you know? It's not necessarily that you do the same things or you like the same things, but like there's just something about them. You've got the same direction of travel, you know. You're the same magnetic pole or the opposite magnetic pole. It's just somebody who you vibe with, and that might be somebody who you talk to every day. That might be somebody you talk to once a year. You might not even see them for a decade, and then they turn up and you're like, oh my god, I haven't seen you since so. Like, what have you been doing? And they'll be like, you know, got married, I had a kid, I went to space, you know, I was an astronaut for a bit, and they're like, oh, aye. And do they still call you, I don't know, Goober Doober or something, I don't know. And, you know, you'll laugh about it, and it'll all be, it's just, you know, and maybe that's some people's experience. There are friends I have like that, where I feel like I genuinely could sit down with them now and kind of get on board with them. But yeah, I guess a friend, it's probably better to say what a friend isn't. I think what a friend isn't is someone who you can necessarily, like, a lot of people make like being reliable part of it. A lot of people make like how often you see them part of it, like doing things together. I think there's a lot of people who put that sort of stuff into it. There's all sorts of definitions that people say, like, that's what a friend is, that's what a friend isn't. I think probably the main things are, like I say, moving in the same direction as you. And it may be that over time that person starts moving in a different direction, and I think that's often what starts friends growing apart. But then the other thing I would say is, this isn't maybe necessarily part of the definition, but I think it's an important safety tip, is, have you ever heard the analogy of like cups and like you pouring into somebody else and somebody else pouring into you? It's like you've got a certain amount of fucks to give, a certain amount of energy, a certain amount of attention, a certain amount of patience, certain amount of room in your heart for other human beings and stuff that you can give. And when somebody does something nice for you, when somebody pays attention to you or has a conversation with you, just, somebody you have a positive experience, fills your cup a little bit. And somebody might pour into your cup and you might pour into theirs. You might do something nice for them, which takes something from you, but they get something out of it. And sometimes it's reciprocal. But I would say that if somebody is you're routinely pouring into their cup over and over again over a long period of time, because sometimes friends go through rough patches and they need a lot of support. But if you're always pouring into their cup and then never pouring into yours, that's not a friend. That's a parasite of a sort. That's somebody who's using you. And like I say, I think the crucial part of that is over a long period of time. It's not the kind of thing that you can assess over like a day or a month. It's the kind of thing of like, because somebody might have a really tough time and, not be really attentive, not be keeping in touch, always doing shit for you. But like, as long as at some point they say like, look, I really appreciate what you're doing for me, or, we should do this or we should do t'other. If you feel like it's almost like again, because it's so much based in feelings and connectedness. It's if you feel like they're not doing enough for you, then I guess they're not your friend. But yeah. It's been a while since I've had a really big social circle, like a lot of friends. Do you feel like everyone has this mentality of small circle, trust no one? It's an interesting point. It's an interesting way of putting it as well. And I think that from what I've seen, from what I have perceived, which isn't necessarily particularly accurate, I get the feeling that the internet has done something to that. Because it used to be your friends, your colleagues, your co-workers, you didn't really have a lot of control over it. It was just who was around you, like who went to the same school as you, who went to the same pub as you, who went to the same, I don't know, I don't know, what did people even do? What did people do before the internet? I don't know. But you didn't really have a choice, and so you just sort of got used to the fact that, some people were fixer-uppers. That's why I'm saying it's not necessarily that you vibe and you do all of the same stuff together. I think sometimes it's just somebody who you get on with. And I think that because the internet allows us to be a lot more discerning, there was I know he's like semi-cancelled or whatever, but there was an Aziz Ansari joke where he talks about like the best toothbrush. Like you don't Google a toothbrush, you Google best toothbrush, and then you buy the best toothbrush, And like the joke is that then he's like, you see a guy who got the second best toothbrush and like all of his teeth are falling out. It's like, that never fucking happens. That's not a thing. Like, there is no difference between having the best and the second best. But because the internet lets you be that discerning about it, lets you be that mercenary about where you spend your time, about who you put your energy into, I think that it has made us less accepting of other people's flaws and faults, because you can more easily maintain a bubble that kind of matches your vibe. And it's a good thing, because it means that, the internet has now enabled people with like minds to connect in ways that they previously wouldn't have been able to. Some of them might even be close by. You might find out that somebody who sits next to you, it turns out that they have this same weird little interest that they felt frightened to share with you directly sitting next to you. But online, they might put it out there because they feel more confident when it feels like there's less consequence for putting something out there on the internet. So I definitely would say that it is more small circle trust no one than it used to be, but I think that's because, for better or for worse, as people we tend to be a lot more discerning now about who we interact with. And I don't know, maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing, maybe it's a bit of both, because I think, you know, I will say that it's really easy. I used to be in a Discord server and it was all like, you know, left-wing, quite liberal people who were all very, you know, progressive and blah 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 blah. And you know, the conflict and the debates that we'd have weren't really debates. It was all just like, you know, semantic differences. And I think if you put somebody in front of us who was like, all right, I vote Conservative, like I vote Republican, I vote Tory, whatever it is, you'd be like, and you'd look at them as like an enemy. It's like, this is, you're evil, you are. And I think you've almost got this like, you've got the, where's that political graph? So it's almost like you've got kind of this, and this is the whole spectrum of where people exist. And then what you do is, or I say you, not necessarily you in particular, but like people in general tend to be like, okay, well, I'm going to pick, say, maybe this little area here. And so then you zoom in and you draw a whole new, I don't know, let's take a little print screen. So then you draw, come on, Krita, quickly, I'm making a point. This is the one thing that Krita doesn't have over Paint, is that it doesn't open quickly. And then you know, as just print. All right, okay, there we go. And you know, then you draw your own brand new axis, and you say that, you know, this is left, this is right, this is authoritarian, this is libertarian. And it's like, and it's not, it's like, when you look at it in context, it's actually like, it's this tiny little fragment of it. And I think if that's part of the problem, is that because we so carefully curate who we interact with, we forget that once upon a time, we were almost forced to interact with people outside of our own mental model, our own way of thinking. It's not like you forget that they're there. You just think of them as like these others. They're like far outside what you are, and oh, no. And, you know, there are some things that groups of people far away, exactly, tribe mentality. You know, tribe mentality hasn't gone away. We've redistributed where the tribes are. We draw tribe lines in very different ways. It's gone from being where you are to kind of what you think. And I would say that we've gained some stuff from that, but I think we have also probably lost some stuff, because you don't get the same diversity of opinion in a tribe that you used to. But yeah, you are the average of the 5 people closest to you. That sounds about right. I wonder what that makes my wife. So we got it. So we think that it's opening now. We think that that's OBS opening. So that's a good start. So we've got it opening this. We need it to open Spotify now, so we can do the same thing, I think. Where's Spotify live? Can I just... Can you take me to Spotify, please? I right click you. App settings? No, probably not that. Pin to taskbar. Can I go into, where's Spotify? If I shift and click this, more. How is it going to let me? Spotify. Surely I can just, oh shit. It's just going to open it like that. That's no good. It'll be in, surely it's just program file Spotify, right? Oh crap, it's not. Where does Spotify go these days? Does it go somewhere weird? Alright. Spotify install directory. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. Do I play video games? I love video games. I'm making video games. When I'm not doing this software dev stuff, I'm working on a series of video games. We've got one that's a text adventure, which is pick up brick, and then we pick up the brick, and then we look, and now the brick isn't there, and then we pick up can, and then you drop the big brick you were holding, you take the can, and then you look again, and now there is a brick on the floor, and then you can go north, reach the end of the game. So we've got like that sort of a thing. What else have I got? There's the chemistry game, which isn't finished yet, but, well, none of it's finished yet, but the idea is that you can add things to a bowl. That these glasses of water are far too big, but you can make stuff, and it's a little bit like Little Alchemy, but there's going to be like a shop element to it eventually. And then there's the light gun game, which is going to be like a zombie sort of deal. And this isn't finished either, but effectively what we've got is some doors here, and there are invisible tracks on the ground, and after 5 seconds it spawns an enemy, and you can shoot it. And if you hit it in the head, it takes one shot. If you hit it in the chest, it takes two. It's all very prototype stage, but it's getting there. It's getting there. And then we've got 2 more games that we're going to make after that. One of my favourite games to play, one of my favourite games of all time, I would say, is on PC, is Subnautica. Because as much as I'm terrified of deep water, like, there's just the concept of there being something big and underwater and alive is nah, just can't. But for some reason, I love it. There was a game that I played when I was little called Subculture Game. It was this weird little game where you play as like a little yellow submarine, and I wasn't very good at it, but I always thought it seemed really fun, and if I went back and played it, it would seem way smaller than it was. But I like the idea of being underwater and having a submarine and just being able to like mess around underwater. And then Subnautica came out, and I was like, oh, it's basically like Subculture, except it wasn't. But you did get a submarine, and you could mess around underwater. But then Subnautica is more like survival horror, so it's like, ugh. And somehow I managed to enjoy it. What am I? I'll tell you what. Let's go to SteamDB, because that'll tell you what my top games are. This is like, we'll not look too closely at whoa, what? Oh, no, not that. That's what I mean to do. And then we load all of the games, which is a lot of them, and then we sort it by time. What have I played the most of? Apparently Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which it was good, but I thought it was way too long. But when you get that obsessive compulsive thing, well, not obsessive compulsive, but you get like that into that mode of like, I've got to do everything. I've got to 100% it. I've got to see everything. I got into that kind of loop with it, and I ended up having to finish it. But yeah, Subnautica, I do play a lot of single player games, I guess. So Odyssey, Subnautica, Starbound. I think you can do Starbound multiplayer, but I played it single player. Valheim, I did a hell of a lot. I put most of these 190 hours in single player. Raft, again, most of that single player, even though it's multiplayer. So I tend to play a lot of multiplayer games with single player modes. But then also like, Skywalker Saga, played that for a while. Apparently I've only played 123 hours of Factorio, which is like rookie numbers. That's no good. That's no good. And only 102 hours of Red Dead Redemption. But yeah, a lot of single player games. I'm open to multiplayer games, but like I suck at multiplayer games because I have played so many single player games. But no, yeah, I love video games. That's why I'm making them, you know? Because there's games that I want to... You play League of Legends. I've never played League of Legends. I don't really know anything about it. Like, I know that it's you play a hero and there's like lanes or something. I don't really understand it. It might have... I know a couple of people who've played it, but I've never really thought to look into it. Let's have a look. Have I played games like League of Legends? Have I played any of these? No. Oh, no. Come on, I must have played one of these. Fortnite? Fortnite's not like League of Legends, is it? I was gonna say, yeah. Dota? Valorant, Pokemon, Song of Nunu, Apex Legends. Alright. So I have played a little bit of Fortnite, which isn't anything like League of Legends, I wouldn't have thought. What? Weird. I guess maybe there's some overlaps in terms of like it's multiplayer, I guess, and there's... I don't know what else. I haven't watched gameplay of it. League of Legends. What did it look like? Because I remember it started as a World of Warcraft thing, right? I think. It's like you play as heroes, right? And then you're like you've got bases, and it's sort of like the two sides, and you've got like lanes, like paths through, and like you've almost got like your bit that you need to defend, or like push people into like different. I don't know. Maybe I should give it a go someday. League of Legends explained in 3 minutes. Oh, I'll League of Legends explained in 3 minutes. There we go. I will keep that for later. Actually, do you know what? Screw it. This is a bit of a weird stream. No thanks.
Wix. One platform.
Let's have a little look.
Any website.
Let's find out
Unlimited creation.
what League of Legends is in 3 minutes.
Ah, League of Legends, where friendships are
Let's speed
tested,
it up a little
keyboards
bit.
are broken, and your teammates' IQ is constantly being questioned. Welcome, summoners, to the wonderful world of League, where you can pretend you're a strategic genius, but really you're just missing after it's too late. Let's break it down. Starting with League of
Okay.
Legends, or LOL.
So it's
for those
effectively
who don't know
like
the actual symbols. It's
gameplay
5v5
from Warcraft 3, like when you've got a hero in Warcraft 3.
It's like chess, but everyone's yelling at each other, and your rook keeps diving into the enemy's queen. The main objective? Destroy the enemy nexus. But don't worry, you'll spend most of your time doing everything but that. The map has 3 lanes, top, mid, and bot. And no, that's not a boy band. Each lane has its own vibe. Top is where your lonely, grumpy friend goes to duel and pretend they're still playing World of Warcraft. Mid is for flashy players who want all the attention. And bot is a mess. It's a 2-man circus with a clown act. And then there's jungle, the area for those who think they're sneaky ninjas, but end up being glorified babysitters. If you're jungler, prepared for 20 minutes of your laners complaining that you're not ganking enough, and 5 minutes of them screaming because you did. Now let's talk about champions. There are over 160 of these characters, and Riot adds new ones every other Tuesday, or at least it feels like it. Each champion has their own unique abilities, personality, and a special way of making you regret your life choices. You've got your assassins like Zed, who will make you wonder if your monitor's even on, and mages like Lux, who spam one ability and call it skill. Oh, and don't forget Yasuo. You'll either see him carry the game, or 0-10 power dive into oblivion. There's no in between. And there's Teemo. It's just different. Aside from champions, you've got minions, the tiny soldiers that march into battle, like auditioning for the Pixar movie. And there are objectives, towers, dragons, and the almighty Baron Nashor. Objectives are super important, so naturally your team will ignore them until it's too late. And then there's the team fight. Imagine a chaotic, colorful mosh pit where everyone's smashing buttons, and you're just trying to figure out who to click. It's like a dance-off, except no one can dance, and they all brought swords. If you get bored of the standard mode, there are other game modes. There's ARAM, where you get a random champion and play in a single lane. It's like a chaotic family reunion, except you can't escape. And every now and then, Riot gives us a new mode, only to take it away where you start to enjoy it. Classic. So you pick a champion, join a match, and bump, you're in. Now you're ready for the true League of Legends experience. Arguing with strangers over whose fault it is that you're losing. Maybe it's your teammates, maybe it's lag, or maybe, just maybe, you're playing against that one guy who doesn't sleep, eat, or blink. After 20 to 50 minutes of epic battles, bad decisions, and questionable things, one team destroys the enemy nexus, and victory is yours. Or you lose, and you're back into the lobby, questioning your life choices. Either way, it's all part of the charm. And that's League of Legends. Whether you're a bronze warrior or a diamond deity, just remember, it's all fun and games until someone steals your pentakill. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the Rift. Probably.
Very good. Okay. So what it does remind me of a little bit, there was a game from years ago, Sacrifice PC. Game called Sacrifice, where do we have a screenshot? Basically, you were like a dude. You would play like a summoner, like a kind of hero, effectively, and you would have like a couple of guys who would spawn in with you, basically like minions and stuff like that, and then you basically fought other people who were also heroes and had minions, and like there was a bunch of maps and stuff. And I might even have the original disc still somewhere. This must be abandonware at this point. Oh shit! It's on Steam. What? $6.99 though. It's 25 years old. 25 years old. Wow. Surely it's on abandonware though. Oh, maybe not. Oh well, there you go. You probably better getting it on Good Old Games though, because they'll have a bunch of like compatibility stuff to get it to run, I imagine. But I wouldn't buy it just because I say it exists. But like it's canny. It's maybe one to look into if you wanted something that's like League of Legends before League of Legends. But actually, I suppose, because the League of Legends mod, because it started as, I think, was League of Legends, it sort of came out of Dota, right? Like, that was the... Because Dota then sort of spawned, I think. League of Legends, no? Yeah. I could have sworn, like, it looked a lot like a Dota. But when was that? Oh, 2003. Oh, okay, yeah. So, multi-online battle arena custom map for the video game Warcraft 3: Reign of Chaos and its expansion, The Frozen Throne. But yeah, Sacrifice might be like a proto League of Legends. Might be worth looking into. I might look into it. See if in fact, let's have a look at my Good Old Games. Do I already have it? Because if I do, that might be why I don't have the disc. If I don't have the disc anymore. Owned games. Because if I have it, I don't have it. Well, maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll play it on stream after I inevitably get done messing up Resident Evil 2. Dear oh dear. Right. So we can open Spotify, but that was it. We needed to find where Spotify was installed. That was it. We were going to look for the Spotify install direct. Spotify install. Okay. Are you for real? Or they install it in local low? Okay. Well, let's have a look and update it then, shall we? Is it in there? Local low? No. Update a local? Where? Surely it's in here somewhere. No, like .exe. Come on. Right, okay. Well, maybe we'll go up a level. You know, maybe we'll have a look up here. What else do we have? Probably doesn't help that, oh no, it is showing hidden folders. And there's definitely no Spotify there. Do I feel like I'm free? No, not really. In the sense that I think freedom isn't really a binary state. It's not like you're either in chains or you're free. I think people have degrees of freedom to an extent. Degrees of freedom, like if you ever played a 6 degrees of freedom shooter, that's where you can like move up, down, left, right, and then bank as well. Really good, interesting one. Or an early one was Descent, which was really fun. They did like a redo of it years later. I digress. I think I have an element of financial freedom in the sense that I have a dev job. It pays well enough that I don't need to worry about it. I feel like I have free time because I can do this. I feel like I'm free in the sense that I am not like, my government doesn't actually like, we're not, as much as the UK is, we've had a lot of troubled periods over the last while. I'm not in prison for the things that I say. You know, I do, as much as people will be like, Fritz, oh, you don't have free speech anymore. You do have free speech because, you know, you just have to not be hateful towards other people. That's pretty much the only thing you got to not do. So it's like, I think in a lot of ways I am very free, but in other ways, which I guess, of course you're going to focus on the ways that you're not free over the ways that you are free, but like, I would love to have the freedom, free but not fulfilled. That's probably that might be a good way of putting it. Because what I would love, because I'm not free to just spend all my day, every day, doing this. I would love to pivot, because I'm a regular software dev most of the time. And I want to do game dev more often. But like, well, for a start, I don't write in Python all the time, which is why this is like pulling teeth for me. I could write a program in Java, but that seems way nastier to do. But I want to be a game. I'd like to be a game dev. I'd like to make a successful little game and do all right. But that's hard to do, you know. Not everybody can be a concerned ape or a, what's the, Toby Fox? Is that the Undertale guy? Anyway, you can't all be that. So there's like a middle point, and maybe there'll come a time where I feel like I'm making, well, if I make any money, I might be like, ooh, okay, maybe I can make something of this. But right now, while I have financial freedom in the sense that I have enough money to do what I want to do, it comes at the cost of most of my time and energy is spent at work, being at work. So this is what I would do to feel fulfilled. But sometimes you obviously, to get the freedoms you have, you sometimes have to sacrifice other things. And then in terms of just the wider world, like I think as a species, we're not very free, because a lot of the ways that we're working right now, a lot of the ways that society has been set up is very much geared towards funneling money upwards, funneling resources upwards. And I think if we distributed things a little bit better, not necessarily, you know, communism, but some kind of having less of a 1%, you know, like devolving some of that money from the top a little bit further down, we might be able to work less and spend more time doing stuff like this. But then I suppose it's almost, you've got the catch-22, because on the one hand I'm saying, wouldn't it be nice if I only had to do 3 days a week but still get paid the same amount? But then at the same time, I'm saying, but then I'm going to spend that free time trying to make something that I can then sell to other people so that I can spend more of my free time doing nothing, or more of my free time making games, or blah, 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 blah. You know, it's a weird one. It's a weird one to try and reconcile. But yeah, I would say broad strokes, I'm free. I feel trapped at times, but no, I think I'm alright. Do you feel free? What do you think about freedom? I came to terms that you will and I want to build a game alone. I came to terms that I will never be free. So building a game alone, I might come back. Well, I'll very briefly talk about that. It's not necessarily that it's like a deal breaker that I build a game alone, but the thing that I'm worried about is that if I make a game, I kind of want it to be the game that I want to make. I mean, weirdly, the games that I'm making in the minute are like, because I when I started this channel, I did say like people should be able to input in what kind of games I make, and they'll get credits and stuff in terms of the, you know, I'll put them in the credits and say like, oh hey, such and such like kept me company while I was making the game, so here's a thanks in the credits kind of thing. Thanks for hanging out, thanks for watching on stream and stuff like that. So that's nice. But I'm sort of worried that if I have to make a game with somebody else, if I choose to make a game with somebody else, again, like we're talking about, you give up some of that freedom, because while I sacrifice the freedom of being able to give a lot of the things that I'm not as skilled at, like if I was working with an artist, because I'm, you know, I can do Blender sort of, but in terms of like texturing, like drawing stuff, nah, I'm gonna have to learn that, I guess, to some extent, or figure out a solution for it. But by sacrificing that freedom of being able to give somebody else that job and freeing up my time to do all of the code and design and whatever else stuff, I am restricted in that I have to do everything. But similarly, if I chose to have the freedom to work with other people, then I would be restricted because, well, I might not feel like I was being restricted, but I would have to incorporate their ideas unless I was giving them money and saying, you do it the way I tell you to do it. But like, would that necessarily be the right thing to do? Would that be the right way to do it? Probably not. But yeah, so it's not that I want to build it alone, I just want to build specific games. But why do you feel like you're not free? What is it that makes you feel like you ain't free? When I achieve one thing, I always go to the next thing. When I have everything I want, it's never enough. Yeah, I think that's sort of the thing, isn't it? And I think I suspect that's why a lot of you see a lot of really miserable or angry billionaires. And it's, let's see if I can find the story, because it is a really fun story. Fisherman story. The Mexican Fisherman and the Investment Banker. Here it is. Parable of the Mexican Fisherman. I'll read it out, but you know, I'm sure you can read as well. But if anybody's like got me on in the background, maybe they'll hear it as well. So an American investment banker was taking a much needed vacation in a small coastal Mexican village when a small boat with just one fisherman docked. The boat had several large fresh fish in it. The investment banker was impressed by the quality of the fish and asked the Mexican how long it took to catch them. The Mexican replied, only a little while. The banker then asked why he didn't stay out longer and catch more fish. The Mexican fisherman replied he had enough to support his family's immediate needs. The American then asked, "But what do you do with the rest of your time?" The Mexican fisherman replied, "I sleep late, I fish a little, play with my children, take siesta with my wife, stroll into the village each evening where I sip wine and I play guitar with my amigos. I have a full and busy life, senor." The investment banker scoffed. "I am an Ivy League MBA and I could help you. You could spend more time fishing and with the proceeds buy a bigger boat, and with the proceeds from the bigger boat you could buy several boats until eventually you would have a whole fleet of fishing boats. Instead of selling your catch to the middleman, you could sell directly to the processor, eventually opening your own cannery. You could control the product, processing and distribution." Then he added, "Of course, you would need to leave this small coastal fishing village and move to Mexico City, where you would run your growing enterprise." The Mexican fisherman asked, "But senor, how long will this all take?" To which the American replied, 15 to 20 years. "But what then?" asked the Mexican. The American laughed and said, "That's the best part. When the time is right, you would announce an IPO and sell your company's stock to the public and become very rich. You could make millions." "Millions, senor. Then what?" To which the investment banker replied, "Then you would retire. You could move to a small coastal fishing village where you would sleep late, fish a little, play with your kids, take a siesta with your wife, stroll to the village in the evenings where you could sip wine and play your guitar with your amigos." And honestly, I think that's a really good analogy about life. It is a parable, you know? It's that you've got billionaires who have spent their entire lives climbing, scrambling, suffering their way, stepping on anybody and everybody, sacrificing their morals and anything approaching what could be considered their immortal soul, to have billions, to the point where they could do whatever they wanted. They can like affect election results at this point. And they're still fucking miserable. And I think it's because there's a point, there'll be a tipping point where you have so much money that you can influence just about every single thing, every single person around you. Except for a few. Every now and again, there'll be one person who doesn't care that you have any money. You'll be able to surround yourself with them. You'll have PAs. You'll be able to control the restaurants that you go to. You'll be able to control the servers. You'll be able to control taxi drivers. You'll be able to control chauffeurs. You'll be able to have everybody around you love everything about you and be so nice to you and treat you with fear like you're a king or the president of the world. You can have anything you want. You can do anything you want. If you pay enough, you can have anything pretty much whenever. You can get your super yacht. You can go into the middle of the ocean. And as Frankie Boyle says, I'm sure they're not all out there on their super yachts nonsense kids in international waters, but that's possibly slander, so maybe I shouldn't say it too often. But, they can do whatever the fuck they want. And yet somehow there are still some things that money can't buy and money will never be able to buy. Money will never bring back their dead parents, for example. Money will never bring back their sense of childhood wonder. Money will never bring back the one moment in their life where they felt truly complete. Like a moment that's etched into their memory, and they went back to that moment with basically the same circumstances and tried to recreate it. But it turns out that all of their millions, all of their billions don't buy those things. And it's hard to be sad on a jet ski. I have no doubt that they are, qualitatively a lot happier than your average person on their average day. But I think because they're able to control so much, the human mind is really good at adjusting what it considers to be good and bad. Their concept of a bad day would be the best day of our lives. Like, you would still have so much great stuff, and there'd be like one thing that went wrong for them. Like, I don't know, the car was 10 minutes late or something, you know? They had a fight with somebody. And you'd be like, yeah, but I had like gold-plated cornflakes for breakfast. It was great. You know? Like, you'd be like, this is an amazing day. I can't believe that this is how I got to spend my day. But to them, that's their idea of a terrible day. It's why when you see all these vacuous reality shows, it's like pathetic that they're like, such and such said something nasty to me. And then they go back to like their giant Los Angeles mansion and you think, who the fuck do you think you are? Complaining about your life as if you have it difficult. Fucking hell. But, you know, I think that's kind of the thing, is that you can be a billionaire and you will still find ways to be miserable. You'll still have things that you want, that you feel like you need. And if you just, I don't know, and that's the thing. That story of the Mexican fisherman, pretty good. Be nice to be a Mexican fisherman and just fish a little. Well, I'm terrified of open water, so maybe that's not my thing. But, you know, something like that, where I could just find something where I earned just enough. Exactly, you would, if you could have everyone's approval all the time, that would be great. But I think that's the thing, is there's another good saying, and I like it a lot. And it's kind of similar to the one that gets attributed to Einstein quite a lot, which is if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then it will spend its whole life thinking it's stupid. How do you even create genuine relationships? Well, for them to be genuine, you just gotta let it happen, you know? I think if you're trying to create a genuine relationship, if you're like putting techniques into place, unless those things are things that you've worked to make natural to you and you really feel like it's a part of you, it's not a genuine relationship, is it? Which is a shame, because, you know, sometimes that is something that I certainly have struggled with that to some extent, and I do still struggle with it. I still haven't gone to the doctor, but my parents, for a long time, people around me have said, you're not autistic, or you might be, or like you might not be diagnosed autistic, but it's possible. It's possible. And I feel like I've got very good. Like, it used to be, like, I had no social skills whatsoever. Like took everything literally, was basically a walking dictionary. Like, I really struggled to understand the rules of social interaction. But over time, I've watched other people. There's a couple of really influential people, I would say, important moments where I like managed to adjust my internal model of things in a really big way. And it still doesn't feel 100% natural. And really what I want to do is be really cold and logical and just kind of like, it's difficult to put into words without making it sound like it sounds. I can't put it into words very well, which is another thing. But I can do it. I can do all this social stuff with some effort. So I guess that's probably the closest I get to like genuine relationships in that. And I think some people that are very close to me, my wife in particular, I'm starting to like kind of peel that back a little bit, and I feel like she manages with that a lot. But I got very lucky in that regard. But yeah, I guess it's just being patient and hoping that those relationships come to you. There is also a lot to be said about just getting comfortable, either doing things alone, learning to be really good at small talk. Learning to be really good at small talk is super important, because if you're good at small talk, then you can start to generate big talk. If you can small talk about a broad range of things, all you need to do is just talk around whatever bullshit they want to talk about until you find the thing that you like, and then you go, ha 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 ha, oh, ha ha, let's talk about that thing, because I have a lot to say on that topic. But then you got to be careful to, like, you know, just keep some of it back so that, you know, you're letting them talk, so you don't feel like you're just sort of at them, which is something that I have to be very careful about, which I'm kind of doing right now, but it is different because I'm on stream, I think. But yeah, Genuine relationships are a hard one. And I think millionaires and billionaires, when you get to that point, it's really difficult to buy those sorts of relationships. Because, you know, people know you. People know how much money you have. And so I think they must be miserable. I think the trick is to find a way to be satisfied with what you've got. Whether that's no friends, no life, no home, or a giant mansion and loads of hangers on and, you know, 10 turbo yachts in your backyard. I don't know what they're doing in your yard when, you know, they should be in the ocean, down at the marina or whatever, but, you know, that's rich people fare. I think that's a bad goal as well. I'm not happy. I'm not happy most days, you know. I think I've resolved that I think a lot of, yeah, it is. Life is about experiencing all the emotions. If you minimize sadness and try to maximize happiness, all you do is you readjust your definition of what it means to be sad. If you don't have some sadness, happiness, frustration, if you don't have the whole gamut, then what happens is it just gets readjusted upwards, which is exactly what's happened with billionaires. It's their idea of misery. My idea of misery is like, I don't know, someone dying. Their idea of misery is like I say, the car being late or something, or, you know, a deal not going through. It's like, sort your life out, you know. It's fine. Things are okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to struggle. There is value in the attempt. There is value in the struggle. Right, I've just thought there is a way we can find this. We can get Task Manager up. This Task Manager will tell me where it is. Where are you, cheeky little... Where are you, bastard? There it is. Right, you. Come here. Where are you? Expand. Tell me where you are. Properties. Open file look. Yes! There it is! We found it! Alright, so program files, Windows apps. What a weird place to put it. You don't have permission? How dare you? Oh, right, so it's unmodifiable, is it? Well, is there another way to do it? Open Spotify Python. God. Spotify. Web API. We don't want that. Windows. See, OS start file is not going to do it, or I don't think it is. Well, maybe. Can we get in there? Can we pull that? Where were you? I had you a second ago. You were here. Oh, it's up top. Okay, right. So, properties. Ooh. No. Oh no. This maybe? Is that? See, it's got weird shit on the end of it. Spotify.exe. That's gonna change as well. Launch Windows app. Windows app from Python. Trusted apps. Yeah, that's what we're after. Oh no. Oh. Do I have to do it this way? I might have to rewrite it as a PowerShell script. No. Okay. All right. Well, I say this, I was going to write it as a shell script to start with, or something like that. So I suppose what we could potentially do is effectively like a PowerShell script And in the PowerShell script, what we do is we go get state, get current game, get dev stream title, get game stream title. Then we do get go live notification. Then what we would do is call Python script to open Windows, open OBS, open Spotify, call Python script, something like that, you know? Yeah, I think, do you know, maybe it was a stupid idea starting with Python, because, you know, are there PowerShell modules? I'm sure there's PowerShell modules. That must be a thing. That must be a thing. Okay, so what have we got this for? Opening Windows with a web. So we haven't actually got all that much. We're basically looking at opening programs, and that's about it. So I'm gonna. I think just for the sake of simplicity, and maybe this is a fun name, because then I can work back, and then people will ask, why is it called Berk 2? And I'll have to say it's called Berk 2 because Berk 1 was a complete, a very bad idea, and it didn't work in Python. Because why would it work in Python? Why would you be running on Windows and not use PowerShell to interact with Windows, you know? What a silly thing to do. Okay. So let's see about doing this. So let's have a look. Okay. So we can do. Why is VS Code closed? Alright, so we're going to close this work. Can we close this workspace? Close workspace. Sure, yes. Okay. Right. And then we're going to open a folder. And we're going to open workspaces, Python. We're not going to open Berk 2 because that's a stupid place to put it. PowerShell. There we go. And then we're going to call this Berk 2. I could have just called it Berk, really, couldn't I? I am the Berk. Alright, so we want a new file. Select it. PowerShell? PowerShell. There we go. Do you want to install the recommended PowerShell extension? Go on then. Go on. If you must. Choose a version of PowerShell. I have PowerShell. Alright, I've done it. It's installed. It's right here. PowerShell, it's even PowerShell 7. Not 7.5, but it is there. Okay, create PowerShell. Alright, calm down. Right, we'll get rid of you. Okay. So, we've got our untitled file. So we want to do, apparently we do start process, and we can be as straightforward as https google.com. All bullshit on this working, but start process, and then we'll do https //bbc.co.uk, and then let's save that as Berk.ps1. Okay. Can we do it? Can we do it? Well, you say we're back to square one. I have a funny feeling we'll get to the exact same point very quickly. Yep. So we have it opened up Google and it opened up the BBC in a tab. Can I specifically? it seems what I might be able to do is do firefox.exe argument list https://www.google.com, and do I have to put commas after it, or can I do okay? So I can do https://bbc.co.uk. That. Now, what does this do? It opens a new window. I like that. Okay, right. So let's do another one. Start process, and then we do that, and we'll open xkcd, and we'll open, I don't know, gov.uk. That's what we had before. Beautiful. So we got that. Oh, and the other one's behind it as well. Look at that. Right. So what did we have in Python? What did we have in this? I think we may have already replicated it in like 2 lines. So we had all this crap. Oh yeah, we'll grab this at least, you know. We'll grab these. I might need to refactor this a little bit, but at the very least I can put this at the top as stuff that we need to do, you know. So we can probably can we what's a comment in PowerShell again? Is it, oh, it's double dash, isn't it? No, not double dash. Oh, it's just a regular old hash. Okay. So we'll not worry too much about these. Is that how you define arrays in PowerShell? PowerShell arrays. Is it basically just an array? No, it is not. The comma in this case is generally left out. So we can do data, $data equals at brackets. So we basically just replace with at bracket with, and then we put bracket at the end here, and we call that go live notifications, and then we can do the same thing here. Incredible. Oh, except we do want to keep that commented out, and we probably want to comment that one out as well. Just do anything. So we add that. What else do we have? Open browser, and then we were going to open OBS, and we were going to open Spotify. So I think in the last 10 minutes, even though we've had a really good and interesting discussion about philosophical stuff, I think we can probably finish that off. So right, how do you open a process in PowerShell? PowerShell open process OBS. Okay. So we could potentially do same deal, because that's where it was before. So if we do that, it should now have, oh yeah, so it's the same thing. So basically it's twisting, but I think that's a good thing. I think that's basically just, what is this doing? Okay, so this is, yeah. So I think it is just that it's struggling to run it because there's already one opening, there's already one running. So that will work, I think. Start process. How do we open Spotify? Open Spotify. Oh, it's a different command. It's start Spotify. Apparently. Oh no, it is start process. Start process Spotify. Right, well, here's how we figure that out. So we're just going to shut that. Apologies for the sudden deafening silence. But I'll tell you what, we'll comment this out as well because that doesn't work. But now what we should get is, if we go beep, we should get that. And we get Spotify. Spotify's come back. That's good. That's nice. That's what we want. All right. On with that. Excellent. Too easy. I love it. Okay, so that's a decent chunk of what we wanted it to do. So it does this, default to game mode. So what is game mode going to do? We need to set stream category to current game. So how might we do that? So yes, I'm gonna need. So let's comment some of this out and start looking at this. So I'm guessing we're gonna have to do like a curl. Oh no, not curl.exe. What do we have? API, request, REST, a REST response. Do we have anything with REST in it? Not seeing it. Invoke URL. Invoke web request. Is it a web request? Web request that I want? But I kind of want. Wait, what is a web request? Can I specify? Because it might. I think it might need a post. Have a look. Maybe a patch. Rest. I don't think that's going to work. Invoke REST. PowerShell. Invoke REST method. REST method, that looks about right. To a RESTful web service. Perfect. Alright, so invoke REST method. So we can do invoke REST. REST method. There we go. Okay, so what can we do? Where can we get? Get game category. Get category. Which API? Reference Twitch developers. Perfect. That's right. Channel categories. What do they call them? Moderation, polls, scheduled streams, tags. What's it called? The thing that no, it is category. Surely there's category here. Category. There we go. No, you're not far off. Get games. Get games. That might be it. API, Twitch TV, Helix Games. Okay. Is there a search maybe? That might be useful. Let's have a... Because that's not a million miles away. Channel stream schedule. We're not interested in stream schedule. Channel stream. No. No. Ooh, this looks like a search segment. Not quite. Let's just search for search. Search categories. Search categories. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So we want. So we're gonna let's save this. So what's this gonna call? Category search equals https api.twitch.tv/helix. Is that the name of their search? Search categories. And then what parameter do we give it? What parameters can we give it? We can give it a query. Query equals, and then we give it a query, I guess. And it comes back with a list of games that match it. Okay, so can we do? How do we do print again in PowerShell? Print PowerShell. Echo, is it just echo? So this is going to be a response. So we need a category search response equals invoke REST method, and we're going to do. How do we do this? Can we have a look at the docs for that? Where's the docs? I had it open. An example. URI. Alright, so URI, Universal Resource Indicator. Right? Is that what it is? I think. And then we'll do category search. Do we want to? I guess we probably want to put in a parameter here. We probably want to capture something here, but we'll put in Resident Evil 2 for now. Let's see if it'll take that. Just hard code it for the time being. So then we'll do URL. Do we need headers for it? We might need headers for it. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. I mean, worst thing that happens is it doesn't do anything, you know? How do we set it to get? How do we set the method to get? Do we need to set the method to get? What's the default? Let's pull this over here again, just so you can see what I'm doing. Headers. Oh, we might need method. Oh, there it is. Yeah, method post. All right, so we can do method get. Right? Is that what the reference said? I think the reference was a get request, right? It is a get. It is a get. So we can do method get, lowercase. I guess that's it. And then we want to do write host. Category search response. Let's see if this pulls anything back. OAuth token is missing. Oh, right. So I have to put my Twitch response, my Twitch authorization stuff into there. But that looks like a pretty good start, you know? So I might do this over the weekend or something, because I'm not sure if this is necessarily interesting to stream. Let's have a look at the viewer count. Oh, fuck me. 4 people. Thank you, 4 people watching. That's nice. That's a substantial change. It is not always the case that 4 people watch. If we can keep that up, I can put polls in and put other stuff, but the fact is, regardless, I'll put it all in this PowerShell script or something like it. Maybe I'll write something in Java that runs in the background. Like I can run it on my machine and it's a bot that watches the channel and then does things. We'll see. But yeah, basically, one way or the other, whether it's 4 people watching or whether it's me manually writing all of the affiliate stuff as a bot, I'll make it work. Because we don't have a choice. I'm not giving Twitch a choice. I'm getting affiliate one way or another, even if I have to hand rule affiliate. Okay, thank you for watching. It's very kind of you. 22:04. That's not a lot of work for 3 hours, but I feel like I've learned a lot and we've had a lot of interesting discussions, so thank you. And I will catch you all next time. I'm in Fleetwood next week, which I don't really want to be, but despite being in Fleetwood next week, I am going to try and do a stream. And now that I know that it's going to be this rather than potentially this rather than like gaming or whatever, and trying to figure out what will run on my old 2015 Mac, that might be a fun stream. We'll see. But yeah, catch it. Ooh, I should probably check if there's anybody to raid, whether we should raid anybody. Who are we following? Is Teratoma online? Of course Teratoma's online. He's asleep. Do we want to go watch Teratoma sleep? I'll tell you what, we'll raid him, and then if he's, if you want to stay and watch an Italian man sleep, then you can. If you don't want to, that's totally okay. But thank you for watching, and yeah, hopefully catch you next week from Fleetwood with probably terrible internet. Oh no, he's not asleep. He's doing something. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, we'll go see what he's doing.